latest action, which has got everybody excited, some people irritated, but many people curious, which is Jio. Tell us the vision behind it.
I myself am a very big believer in technology and the progress that humanity can make with adaptation of technology. In 2008-9, right, which is when we were all looking at where the world was going, we were just entering what I call, and now what the world calls, the fourth industrial revolution. And at that time, it was not very clear. In 2016, it is absolutely clear that the mobile internet, right, is the defining technology of this century that is going to enable the development of human civilization, converge all the disciplines, solve all the pain points. And we were fortunate to have the right intuition that this industry will evolve in, and we started early. We worked on it for 5 years. Right? As I've said many times before, for this, India is 155th in the world of 230 countries in terms of mobile internet access to our 1.2 billion people. And we think that Jio is conceived and engineered to change that, to make sure that all Indians have access to high quality, low cost mobile internet, which is the first prerequisite for development as we define it today going forward. Right? I have said many times that I believe in a digital life, and the oxygen for a digital life is data or high-speed mobile internet. And we were lots of skeptics on the way, but I myself am surprised. I am an optimist, as you know me, Shekhar, but I am absolutely surprised at how India and Indians have adapted to this technology. I thought that lines for new technology and all of that only like happened in the US when a new gadget or a new technology came out. I can show you at RCP, right, in all the 17,000 towns and villages, all the 28 states that we launched, right, we had lines, and we still have lakhs of people every day wanting to come online and wanting to adapt to this new mobile internet. So, in that sense, we had conceived Jio to really bring it to 1 billion Indians, to make their dreams come alive. And it's still early days, but we think at least the purpose has been achieved. When I look at India and the rest of the world, right, I feel that we are now not behind the world. We at least, and connectivity is the first step in terms of innovation, to give all our young people the power to innovate and compete at an even keel with their counterparts across the world. So I think in that sense, it's satisfying that we have caught up. And this is a big industry. So for us, having set the standards, right, we also give everybody who wants to participate in the industry no option but to exceed our standards. And that's good. That's good for all of us, that we compete in the marketplace, we inspire each other, and at the end of the day, right, it is India and Indians that win.
Many of them will have skepticism that, in this new punt that you've taken, entrepreneurial punt, can you justify 1,50,000 crore investment, because you are not the government and you don't have access to shareholders' money. So it's not your responsibility to provide connectivity to everybody, no matter what the profitability, because nor is this philanthropy. You think this is a financially workable model, or do you think you've taken too much of a risk?
So first and foremost, right, it's no punt. Right? It's a well thought out, well executed, well engineered, right, ecosystem. Second, right, and for us at Reliance, we've always faced this. In the 80s, when we invested, the same financial community said this bubble will burst. Unfortunately, we proved them wrong. And by and large, if you read the Reliance website, right, our principles of doing business are really determined by, first, do we, at this scale and stage, do we create societal value? Right? That's our first tick box that my board and my governance system will look at. And I think that if you look at
also
Geo,
shareholder value.
Yeah, so we will correct all your perceptions. So A, it's not a punt. B, it's not 150,000 crores, it's 250,000 crores. Right?
If that helps.
That we've announced at Digital India.
Right.
C, right, it meets all the criterias of investment that Reliance has set out pretty openly. And those are, number one, it should create societal value. Reliance at this scale and size will not do anything that doesn't create huge societal value. Because at the end of the day, I strongly believe that society gives us a license to operate. You know, right? And making money only is not the license. So that's the first piece. The second piece is, does it create customer value? Right? Just the first 4 weeks, and we were giving ourselves 2 or 3 years in terms of training people and doing all the other stuff, but it creates huge amount of customer value. It meets an unmet need in the marketplace. The third is, does it create employee value? Are we able to attract the best people? Do they enjoy working in terms of an innovative mindset? Are they really getting satisfaction on a day in, day out? And we think that Geo more than meets that criteria. And the fourth, of course, is it has to create shareholder value. I am very confident that given what we see on the ground, given the leadership that we have in Geo and the response that we see in the marketplace from India and Indians, right? It's, we will like, in fact, they will exceed my own expectations and my own targets that I have set for them. You know, so as usual, we will prove the financial community wrong. I have no doubt in my mind.
Only pessimists or also optimists?
I think that as I am an optimist, like what I have seen in the first 6 weeks has exceeded my own expectations.
You know, one of the things we ask in our sport is what can be taught and what cannot be taught. One of the things that fascinates us about Reliance is size, vision, scale. Is that inherited? Is that taught? Was that something you learned? Is that you? Is that a legacy? Because it's a very rare quality in India, this vision.
And I'd answer the question on my own personal experience, right? It's not what can be taught or not taught. It's how do you develop the hunger to learn? And I think that the Reliance DNA is really reverse, right? In terms of saying that when you, and to my mind, a lot of it is connected with my father's philosophy of saying always keep the average age of Reliance at 30. And I think that what I have noticed over now, next year I finish 40 years in Reliance. So I am fortunate to see a journey. When I joined Reliance, we were literally 18 crores of rupees in terms of size. One, like for us, in my very First year we did an IPO which was 1.8 crores. And I'm still very, very proud of the 1.8 crore IPO that we did, which was oversubscribed 20 times. So, but all through these 39 years, what I have learned is how do you build the hunger to learn? And if you actually build the hunger to learn, right, you can pretty much learn anything. And that's what we've noticed time and time over again. This country has proven that given, if you have faith in your young people, they will deliver, they will really outdo all your expectations. The issue is that do we really all, and we got to put our hand on our heart as I get to 60 next year, right? That do we really give our young an opportunity? The average life of a company has come down to, it was in 20 years ago, it was 50 to 60. It's now down to 30, right? And if you read a lot of Stanford, Harvard professors, the average life of a company on S&P is going to go down to 20 years. So the answer is, across the world, there will be new companies, right? And I expect that trend to be even faster in India. And what it needs is just a sense of positivity, right? A positivity among all of us who are on this side of 45 now, right? Like, or 50, in terms of saying, let's give this generation a chance. Let's support them. Let's make sure that we realize the full potential in them. And with everything that is happening in the world, right, I am very, very positive on the youth, the devil, and this is at virtually all levels, including the biggest challenge that I think we have is really to create 1 million jobs a month on a productive basis, put more income into the hands of our young people on literally a month-on-month basis for the next 20 years. And if you talk to, and I know a lot of US politicians, global politicians, if you tell any politician, they're going to, like, our task is to create 1 million jobs a month, right? They look at us in awe. But I still think that the young people of India can do it, and I am super positive.
Isha and Akash are spearheading the entire Geo initiative. So I wanted to ask you, do you feel that there is a pressure on them to carry forward a legacy, or there's a pressure on Mr. Mukesh Ambani to live up to their scale and vision of their dreams?
Great question, Priyanka. Let me answer this with an anecdote, right? So the real, and this is a true story, right? Isha went to Yale, came back in, for her first year, 2009, came back in 2010. We were still saying, yeah, this is big, but, you know, is this the right thing to do, not the wrong thing to do? Shekhar has asked me many times, but I've never told him this story, saying, when did you first think of Geo, right? Isha came back and said, Dad, the internet in our house sucks. Right? And this was 2010. I said, no, I said, this is absolutely the best internet, you don't know. And by then we were like, says, no, at Yale I do everything on the internet. All my course, everything else, I can't do anything from home. And that was one piece. So
which internet provider did you have in your home then?
I had all. In 2010, I had virtually all the 3 or 4 that possibly were there, right? And then the second real piece is when we were pretty open in terms, and then that'll hopefully, both these anecdotes will answer your question in terms of saying, so was Akash, he says, yeah, you think that you are getting into a new business, you want to go back to telecom. And we were like, we still are open, saying, Dad, you won't get it. So I said, Acha, very good. So I am now getting, so at most, every now and then I hear from my 30-year-olds that you don't get it. So I said, okay. He says, in your world, right, only when one person phones another person and that person picks up, right? Do you actually charge and make some returns? And there are only so many million people to talk to so many million people, and each have to have the time. In my world, I just talk to a server. So if somebody's put a Facebook post, everything else, we talk at each other. So there is never a no reply, and all of us are connected. And if you can do that, you won't get it. Unless I do, you won't get it. So, and this is then true for all our 30-year-olds at Jio. So, that's why, like, I learn from them, and it's been huge. Like, in the last 5 years, it's been a huge learning experience. And that's why I think seeding to the next generation is always a good idea.